Last time we saw our adventurers, they had fought a series of small bosses to get to the main boss at the end of the lava tunnel. So one thing that we need to look at as far as our players are concerned is how you make each of them feel valuable in a boss battle. And sometimes that can be very hard, sometimes that can be very easy. As an example, this boar, that every time you attack it in melee, it deals damage back to you, will make the sorcerer feel valuable because he can basically shoot and back off and allow these individuals to tank the damage while he is really the one delivering the main blow. You could also have that fight be like really cleric intensive because he's going to wind up healing everybody else so they don't pass out. So in this circumstance, the sorcerer and the cleric wind up being very valuable. But in my next example, where we have this ghost, the cleric may be of great value, and maybe one or two others, like the paladin with his divine smite, but these two are going to be left more or less out in the dust. They're not going to find themselves particularly valuable in that fight. And so what you want to do is you want to design your boss battle so that each person can feel special in turn. But when you have a boss like this, where every time you roll a nat 1, you roll on a chart, that might make certain people, like this guy who gets 1,000 attacks, feel a little more picked on than the others who only roll 1 or 2 attacks each turn. Because he rolls more chances in this particular fight, he is always going to feel as though the DM is picking on him rather than anybody feeling special. So you do have to be careful about that. And then of course you can have thinking fights where this guy is trying to stop you from getting to his soul lantern that keeps him alive and keeps resurrecting him. And in that circumstance, this guy might feel extra special because he can actually think about what's going on and know to run past this guy and attack the actual source of the power. So within that respect, you have to know your players, and you have to make sure that all of your players feel special in turn through each of these boss fights or through each of these groups of minions, so that way all of your players make sure that they have a good time. Well, if you have any more questions, please comment in the section below, and as always, please like and follow for more D&D advice.